We are certainly dealing with a little more of the extreme side of horror today, as we are going to review from Unearthed Films on Blu-ray the Untold story. This is, of course, one of the infamous Category 3 films that were, I think, banned in like China or somewhere in that area. You'll have to look that up for the exact definition of it. But it's one I've been looking forward to ever since they announced it was coming out. So finally got to watch it. If you haven't seen it, this dude right here, played by a great actor, and I'm going to ruin his name, so I'm probably not even going to try to announce it. But it is, well, let's go ahead and try it here. See, well, Danny Lee, starring Danny Lee. Guess I didn't ruin that one. Nonetheless, great performance here. He plays this real just insane character. But to sum it up, he right at the start of the movie when it starts, he loses like a game to somebody and he kills the guy. So you know he's crazy from the jump. We fast forward, and he's took over like a restaurant in China, and there's these cops that are, they're kind of the comedic relief of the movie in a way. There's a group of them. There's like three, four of them, and there's one girl, and of course in there is the main officer, the lieutenant or whatever, the main guy, the captain, and he's always with a prostitute that speaks English every time you see him. So it's little quirky things here and there, but it still comes together well. And nonetheless, they get a letter saying that some dude's brother who runs the restaurant that this guy's running has somewhat vanished, and there's no trace of him as where he's at or anything. So they investigate, and of course we know what's happened to him, but we don't know the full details of it. So nonetheless, they go on a chase for him, and he's still killing people in some very gross, grotesque ways in some cases. There's rape. There's a bunch of weird stuff that just make your spine tingle in areas, but everything basically comes down to this guy confessing what he did, and that's the untold story portion of the movie, and it's well worth it. Memorable scenes, some very memorable scenes, some really gory scenes, and like I said, a very good performance by this guy right here. Now this looks good too, by the way. It's on Blu-ray for the first time as far as I know anywhere, and it looks really good. Got the slipcase here. This is part of the Unearthed Classics line, which I've loved. I think everything that's come out on this line. This is the slipcover. Here we have the inside of it, which is a little different than the slip. That's good. So you get basically two covers there. You open it up, you get a little booklet thing here with some writing in it, and of course you get the disc. No reverse cover, nothing like that. But the extras, and this is where one of the biggest selling points for me come into play here, is you get the commentary with Anthony Wong, commentary with Herman Yu, isolated film score, commentary with Art Edinger, ultraviolet it says, and Bruce Holchek from Cinema Arcana, Q&A with Herman Yu, or Yao, I guess it's Yao, Y-A-U. Category 3, The Untold Story of Hong Kong Exploitation Cinema. Now that is one of the key reasons I wanted this, is because I'm a sucker for a good documentary about things, and it covers the whole Category 3 issues and the history of them, and it's probably could have probably been released by itself and still been pretty entertaining, but it's on this movie, which makes it even better. Rounding it out, then we got some interviews, trailers, and liner notes. But I give the movie a 4 out of 5. Good stuff. Won't be for everybody. It gets pretty off the rails there at the last act with the violence and who the violence is towards. But if you can stomach the more extreme side of cinema, I think you'll like this one. On another note, the documentary talks about a movie called Ebola Syndrome. I hope eventually that Unearthed puts this out. I hope somebody does, because I bought this DVD. Gosh, I think like the copyright on this is like 2007. I don't even think this company's around anymore. But I bought this DVD probably about 2008-ish, 2009-ish, and I watched it once. It's pretty gross. It's up there with this one, but I didn't realize it's the same director and that's the same actor, apparently. So, if you can believe that, they talk about this as well as the other Untold stories. Apparently, there's part 2 and part 3, I should say, of this on that documentary. So, good stuff. This, of course, is about the Untold story from Unearthed Films. Looks good. Pretty hard to watch in some cases, but it's a good movie. So, if you want to check that one out, pick that up. That's from Unearthed Films again. The Untold Story.